Good to have you.
Absolutely.
Everything
Glad
good?
you're feeling better.
Thank you very much.
Everything is great,
It has
Jenna.
an effect on people when he's not feeling well. Everyone's worried about
it brings
you.
the energy down.
I know.
I like Nick right now. I like he's
Thank you.
energetic.
We get to do
he's
our
feeling like
handshake.
himself.
Last
exactly.
week we couldn't. We had to bump elbows. I feel like it just
Dapped it up
my
a little
shoulder.
bit.
Yeah, it's good to see you, man.
They didn't retire your jersey or nothing last night, because if they did,
Oh,
Nick,
my
Forget it. You got
Nick's got
killed.
some hot stuff.
God forbid
I mean,
we don't treat Kobe's jersey retirement like he passed away.
Well, listen, man, you got to pay homage to one of the best to do it.
Man, I mean, he could play. Wasn't he great?
I mean, he was great.
He was amazing, wasn't he?
January 22nd, 2006, 81.
How many
dropping
minutes
81.
of your life did he entertain you?
Exactly. And I'm a Lakers fan. Just like
compared
you,
to being
CC.
disappointed.
Exactly.
Man, welcome to my show.
Cece, you can go ahead.
Well, we are going to put that on the burner for a split second. A lot's
Let's
happened.
try to lift a few people up today.
A lot's happened in the 2 days since the controversial ending to the Patriots-Steelers game. I won a table tennis championship. Nick got over his cold. Oh, and Tom Brady weighed in. So just to recap, Jesse James dropped the ball in the end zone. A lot of people thought it was a catch. Pretty much every rule expert agrees it wasn't. But that was yesterday's debate. Today, we're seeing how this landed with the players involved. Here's Tom Brady on how the game felt to him.
I think the emotions at the end of the game were not like any others we've had. So to go from, scoring there like we did, and then they got the ball, went down the field, and then obviously that sequence at the end was pretty incredible. So just happy we won. It's a tough place to play, and, it took right to the end. They've been in quite a few of those games this year. We haven't been in quite as many at the very end like that, and I'm glad we came away with the win. It was a big win for our team.
All right, Chris Canty, let me start with you. How confident should the Patriots be after the win over the Steelers?
They should be very confident, because I thought that the Pittsburgh Steelers were the primary challenger in the AFC for the New England Patriots. And the fact that home field throughout the playoffs and the road to the Super Bowl in the AFC have to go through Foxborough, the Patriots should feel good about where they're at right now, being able to get that win on the road, being able to have the comfort of knowing that if you take care of your business against the Jets and the Bills, that you'll be at home until you play in Minneapolis, if they go ahead and win out.
I mean, if they beat the Bills and the Jets, they do not leave Gillette Stadium unless they are going to U.S. Bank Stadium for the Super Bowl. I mean, that's how big it was. So regardless of what you think about the team, this is the recipe that they have used to cook the rest of the NFL for 15 years. All right? That was a must-win game for them in Pittsburgh, regardless of what you think about their personnel, regardless of that, regardless of how little talent you think they have the road and the key and the map to be able to get to Minneapolis, more so than any team in the NFL. They've done it before. They beat the most formidable team in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had the game in their lap. New England took it away from them. So you have to have confidence in a head-to-head battle like that. But Tom said in the interview, it's nice to see yourself tested against the best. Now, we just take it for granted because Tom's won 5 Super Bowls. But Tom, the ability to continue, drive your team down the field and duplicate the type of success that he's had for almost his entire career, that's encouraging. Because you just can't take it for granted. Oh, they're going to give New England the ball back. Tom's going to march them down the field. But for Tom to see it and do it again, it affirms all the decisions that he makes as far as eating right, sleeping right, continuing to play football. I'm the best at this. Like, why should I quit? So, yes, it's a tremendous confidence boost, not only for New England, but for the leader in Tom Brady.
Man, for 57 minutes, the Steelers clearly showed everyone they're the better team. They had the more talent. They had the better game plan. They had been talking about this game for a month. It was going to pay off. They were going to eliminate New England from contention for the 1 seed. New England was about to potentially be going to Jacksonville in round 2. That's the way the standings would have looked. All of those things had set up perfectly for Pittsburgh. But we know how the game ended. And we know that unlike in college football or the NCAA tournament, there's no committee doing seedings or rankings. It's just your raw standings numbers. And so what they're saying is absolutely correct. It doesn't matter that Pittsburgh, to me, looked like the better team, that they played the better game. What matters is now, barring this, Patriots are 13-point favorites this weekend. against Buffalo.
Well, they got Buffalo and Jets.
Right.
As their
What do you
last
think they're going to be at home against the Jets? 17-point favorites? Barring a shocking upset, they're the 1 seed. And what have we talked about all year? Pats, if they have a bye, they never make the Super Bowl without a bye. If they have a bye, they're overwhelmingly likely to make the Super Bowl. What have we? Tom Brady in his career in the postseason at home, 17-3, on the road, 3-4. Like we just know all these things. We know that if you're going to get the Patriots, barring a one-off instance, the way the Jets got him in the divisional round 1 year, the way the Ravens got him in a game where I think Ray Rice went nuts, you're going to have to get him on the road. And now the Pats, barring some unforeseen circumstance, not going to have to go on the road. So it doesn't matter that I don't think, are the best team in the AFC. They're going to get the 1 seed. And if they have the 1 seed, it is going to take, and not only who's going to have to beat them, who they're going to have to play. Like, Cece, we talk, I don't know where you think about this, Chris, but there's 2 teams in the AFC that could prevent problems for the Patriots. The Steelers, obviously, also Jacksonville. They were in a position where they would have had to play both of them. Now they're in a position where it looks like they'll only have to play one of them. Like, all of that was predicated on what happened in the final 3 minutes of that football game Sunday.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And spinning it forward, who in the AFC are you afraid of in terms of being able to go into Foxborough and win a playoff game? Like, I know the Chiefs beat them earlier in the season, but nobody really has confidence the way the Chiefs have been playing that they can go into Foxborough and do that again. Are you believing in the Pittsburgh Steelers? Now that Antonio Brown has the calf injury, he's going to be a question mark going into the postseason. Jacksonville, I know Blake Bortles has been great the last 3 games, but you don't trust Blake Bortles in Foxborough against a Bill Belichick defense? Like, I'm looking at the scenario in terms of all the potential teams that can go into Foxborough, that will have to go into Foxborough, and I don't believe any of them can beat the New England Patriots.
Is there any question mark with you whatsoever, Chris, as to the way they played that game? They almost lost that game, so they came close. They lost that game to Miami, and I know that they won, and I know they have a clear. But I have to imagine that in the locker room after that game against the Steelers, Belichick's message was not, wow, that was awesome. Great guy, great. See you guys again for the next practice. Take the next day off and relax. I'm sure it was, these are the things we did wrong. This is how we almost lost that game. What do you think where do you think they stand right now as a team moving forward?
Well, you don't like the lack of production in the ground game. I think the Patriots have got to focus on being able to run the football more. You want to have more balance because when we talk about the Patriots, the formula to defeat them is be able to rush 4 against Tom Brady and play coverage. It makes it a little bit harder to play coverage with 7 if you're controlling the line of scrimmage with that run game. They usually have to drop an extra safety down in the box to be able to control that ground game. So I think that the Patriots have to get that going. But in terms of Tom Brady being able to put together a game-winning drive, I think we saw that at its best. You had the 3 chunk plays to Gronkowski down the stretch and then the touchdown to Deion Lewis to cap that off. And you gave the Pittsburgh Steelers the ball back with less than a minute to go. Now, you would expect in that situation you'd be able to close it out easily, but you're dealing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, again, a very talented team. But in looking at it, I think defensively, of course, we know the issues that they have to shore up. They allow a ton of yards. But offensively, they got to get some balance with the run game.
Yes, you have to be encouraged. Belichick, I believe, will encourage the team because the bounce back from Miami going into Pittsburgh, and this is the game of the season. And be able to come through and clutch situations, especially situational football that he majors in. And they did not give up. They had plenty of opportunity to have mental lapses at the end. So Belichick, people have this image of him, but he's a teacher. And when the students get it, he always rewards them with, man, that's the way you play Patriots football. And that's why they call it the Patriot way.
Good point. All right, Chris, stick around. Coming up, Des Bryant is getting excited about the Cowboys' chances, but should he be? It's next on